Hey, Luis. With Jake, one of the things that he's clearly been good at this year is being very honest with you guys, and if anything feels off, he lets you know and comes out of the game. Is there a concern or is there a conversation to be had now about moving forward, considering that the last few times he's felt something, it's been revealed that there was no issue, and I guess the concern level of maybe he tries to push through something next time that isn't a minor issue?
Well, Steve, there's no concern with us going into this game with Jake going into this game as our starting pitcher. I mean, I think that he's always going to be honest. He's going to voice to us, to our pitching coach, to the trainers, to myself, what's going on. He's going to be clear. He's not the type of guy that will hide something or will try to pitch through something. He's always been open, talking about anything that he's felt. It's there. I mean, the history is there. Some things he's had some hiccups, and it's because he's voiced them, and he just hasn't tried to pitch through them. So we haven't had any conversations about him being more this way or that way. I mean, we trust that he will do it if he feels it. So, but right now we trust that he's okay and that he's good to go for this game today.
Are you guys looking at any particular limit on him today?
No, we haven't talked about a limit, innings wise or pitches wise, as of now. I know in the past we've talked about post game. We talked about a number of innings and a number of pitches that we had planned. This time we haven't set anything up at this time. Just to answer that question. So we're just gonna go and watch the game and inning by inning, right? Check out what Jake is doing.
Your next question will come from Mike Puma.
Louis, is McNeil active for game one?
Yes, he's going to be active for game one. We do not have the corresponding move yet, but he will be active. It will be available off the bench, and we're looking at him to potentially start game two.
Also, what's the story with Gesellman with his injury?
Yeah, we checked on him. He's got a right lat strain right now. We're checking on the grade of the strain and just to see what the move's going to be with him. You know, what the final decision is going to be with him. But that's what we got out of Nimish that we did this morning.
And are you leaning toward Eichhoff to start that second game?
We have it. Right now we're favoring him as a guy that could go, but we also want to keep him available, right, just in case something happens since he's a length guy. But we have a TVA right now. I mean, we probably share that he will be at some point if we get to the point where we're comfortable to say it. But we also want to leave him available just to not empty our whole bullpen if something happens, right, in game one. But we're leaning towards that.
Thank you.
Dave Lennon, you're up.
No? Can you hear it, Louis?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, oh, great.
Hear you now.
With Jake mentioning that he was hurt at least maybe once or twice from batting, how are you guys gonna try to manage that or handle that going forward?
I know. We've had some conversations about him. I mean, Jake is a good athlete. He's a good hitter. We've seen that. But we just got to be a little bit more careful there. And as far as like getting ready to go into games, just getting enough reps and getting probably warmed up in some of the areas that he's gonna or muscles that he's gonna use swinging the bat, right? We'll see into tonight. I mean, he can do different things at the plate as well. Not only swinging the bat, but he said that to us. We weren't really clear going through this that was the case. That's what got him hurt. But that's what he said to us, and I know he shared with you guys as well. But I think we just got to prepare him a little better, just when it comes down to swinging and doing things at the plate, because he's been like a natural for us, at the plate swinging. I mean, there's nothing special that we do with Jake, extra hitting or anything like that, but we just got to prepare him better so something like this doesn't happen.
Thanks, Louis.
Next question is from Jake Seiner.
Hey, Louis, just got one question about the sticky stuff inspection starting today. I'm just curious if there have been in the last 24, 48 hours, any points of clarification you've been looking for from Major League Baseball, anything just going into today that you're uncertain how it's going to go or concerned about?
Yeah, we actually had different meetings last week with MLB, and yeah, they were clear about reinforcing the rule of the foreign substances on the ball, and we relayed the message on how things are going to be starting today to the team and to the pitcher especially, and just so they know what to expect, because there's going to be more checkups, right? And so this is just going to be a little different than what it's been, for everyone. There's just going to be checkups. They're going to check different areas where they trigger that some of the substances being put throughout the game. So, just expect that, and you're going to be stopped and checked. But, past that, we're just going to go ahead and play our game. But that was the clarification I gave the guys, just how things are going to be handled on the field, and just not to react to it, but rather just, go with it and, let them do what they need to do, but nothing more than that.
Your next question comes from Tyler Kepner.
Hey, Louis. Along those lines, what are you most curious to find out about how they're going to handle this? What are you going to be looking for to see how it disrupts the flow of the game, or just what are you most curious about?
And that's one. The flow of the game, the pace. Like, I'm curious to see that. How it's going to be handled. I'm sure the umpires have been educated. That's something that MLB told us as well, us managers and executives, that the umpires are going to be educated to do this this whole process. And that's one. And the other thing is, some usage of stuff that you have in day games, and we may have sunscreen today in a 5 o'clock game, right? And so just the balance there, and probably the feel, the understanding of some of that. I mean, it's been out there that the mix of sunscreen and rosin is, creates better grip. You can do that. So the usage of things like that in game, like yesterday we were playing in that game in Washington, I'm sure a lot of guys were using sunscreen. So, just the balance there of what's going to happen if some of that just happens to find its way into the ball, not necessarily with rosin, but the pitchers are touching the rosin. But what happens if he gets to that point? Like, I'm curious to see that, and just how the field umpires will go. Okay, this wasn't purpose or something, removing the ball, and a player doesn't get the penalty. But we'll see. I mean, this is. I'm curious. I'm curious to get through this. I mean, this is happening every one way or the other, right? So let's go ahead and see how it goes, and then we'll have a say, our say if we see something that we don't like. I'm just saying that from my end as a manager.
I was going to say, like, for years it's always been the gentleman's agreement, like, unspoken. You don't call out their pitcher, they don't call out your pitcher. Now is it completely in the ump's hands, or if you suspect something, if you get a ball that's fouled off into the dugout, you see something on it, like, are you going to be more likely to ask the umpire to check the guy?
I don't know. I can't say to you yes. I can't say to you no. When you're in game, you're just paying attention to so many different things, and you're thinking of so many different things as the manager and as a coach, and as a So I can't say, like, if it happens and I see it and it's obvious, I'm gonna say yes. But I don't think it's something that I'm just gonna be thoroughly like looking at starting tonight. But I'm curious about the umps handling the process, right? That's probably the biggest thing for me, just how this thing's going to be. I think we're going to be the first team, right? Getting to play under this. I mean, the rule's been there, but getting to play under, making it more strict. So, let's see that part. That's what I'm more curious of.
Thanks.
In Britain, you're up.
Hey, Louis, did you guys get any clarity on Luke Casey's MRI yet?
Yeah, we're waiting on finals for that. we'll have more to it. I mean, there's this thing happened Friday, we believe so, and then they went to Saturday where we felt that things got better, but we still want to pay respect to that MRI. So once it come back, we'll know better. But it's definitely always something of concern when you hear the inflammation and then it goes from one day to another. And even though we said that the level of concern was lower, like the inflammation was still there. So let's see when we get those results.
And then you mentioned you have to work with Jake on his preparation to hit. Like, what does that mean exactly? What should he be doing differently?
Well, I think maybe analyzing his swing, like taking more swings in between starts, like all the moving parts that are in his swing, so he can trigger something that he's doing that may hurt him or get in his way, right, from pitching. Like those things, those repetitions can help him and can help us tell him probably what to do better, right? So he can prevent some of these things. So I that's why I say us as coaches, we can definitely prepare him better. We can assess him so he can go out there and probably not be compromised when he's hitting, because he's a good hitter, right?
Thanks.
For final questions from Andy Martino.
Louis, with the new enforcement today, do you have any curiosity, or have you thought about whether this could impact actual pitch selection and pitch strategy? And by that, I mean, over the past few years, we've seen some, not the Mets necessarily, but some bullpens that come out with these guys with the high velocity, high spin out of the bullpen, and where they might have set up hitters with different strategies before. You see a guy with a good slider come out and throw 15 straight sliders or something. Do you think that could be one aspect of the game that changes a little bit, how bullpens attack that way?
That's actually a good question. Immediately, I don't think so, just because I think that the use of stuff has been more for the grip and command, rather than like the spin and the advantage of making your stuff better, because I don't know much about it, and it may be real because there's fact, right? There's proof out there about some stuff that makes stuff better, but I'm curious now that you asked this question, just to see about pitch selection and if some pitches usage increase or diminish with some particular pitches. But it's not something that I thought about. Going into today, I just think that the pitchers are going to have their pitches, in a ranking order, where 1, 2, 3 that's usage, and they're not going to get away from that. That's what I think. But I'm curious to see too, as you are.
Thanks.
Luis, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Zach. See you guys.